And there we go, and something we borrowed from our time at the BBC. Yes, there was a program that was called New Ideas, and I thought it was rather interesting. And ever since then, I've kind of been interested in new ideas. And so after many, many years, I have decided to do one of the programs that I've always wanted to do, and it's doing it right now. I'm Stan Houston, and the program is called Interesting Ideas. We're here to introduce you to some interesting ideas, perhaps hear yours, and it's also that we can be different, so we can be unique, perhaps be better. We can enjoy a greater influence, maybe have some impact on the world, have some extraordinary insight that people might admire, and perhaps they could use us to work with them in their world and grow our income. And not only the money income, but perhaps attract a lot of good incoming things to our life. All of that is a part of interesting ideas. And so we have another episode here on this Wednesday, and we're going to be talking, as promised, about CWO and CHO. What in the world could that be? Well, if you'll give me about 12 minutes, maybe 15, maybe a little bit less, we'll see where it goes, and let me tell you the stories of what you need to do in these difficult and challenging times. The program, Interesting Ideas, begins right now. Yesterday I talked about living under pressure and about having problems. And I know what I am speaking of. Don't need to go into all the details, but there's a lot of pressure in my life as we start this new business, as we moved all the way from Arizona to Carolina. So we're kind of Carizonans, and that's been a lot of pressure, starting all over again in a new place, a new space, at my advanced stage in life. And the issue of helping my family, and then, as I shared with you, my dear wife Karen has gone through some situations where she has been involved in some heart issues. I even had to call 911 for the first time in my life, I think, in a real emergency. And we brought her to the hospital, and thank goodness she's doing well. But there's still a lot of things we have to do and discover. So I know something about trying to live with pressure and to try and overcome problems. And I suggested perhaps that might be a way that we could have more power. Now, back to the hospital. Well, okay. The people at Wake Medical Center here in Cary, North Carolina, tremendous people. My wife is alive probably because of their fantastic service, and I'm very grateful for the first responders that were there. And then they called and brought in the ambulance, and off she went. Well, she's okay. She's better. But, of course, we had to go back for a checkup for a number of things. And so I brought her into the hospital, dropped her off, and she went on her way. And then I went and parked the automobile, came back in, and as I walked in the front door, there was a very nice gentleman, and he greeted me warmly and simply said, "How can I help you?" And I said, "Well, I'm here to visit my wife who has a doctor's appointment." He said, "Go right over there, make sure you check in with that lady, and she'll make sure you're screened and give you a visitor's pass, and then you can go and find her over there. And if you have any other questions, let me know." Kind, gracious, encouraging, and helpful. And it went well. And she came back, and as we were leaving the hospital, this nice gentleman was still there. And he greeted us again, asked us how everything went. Is there any suggestions we have that he could pass on to the leadership of the hospital about our time here? And, I just paused, and I simply said to him, "You know what? You are a CHO. And he said, "Well, what is a CHO? I said, "You're the Chief Hospitality Officer." And he broke into a wide grin. He says, I've never been a chief of anything. But now, you're right. I'm the chief hospitality officer. I'm retired. I'm a volunteer, but hey, this is one of the best things I've done in my life is to help people. The reason people are here is because there's some trouble in their lives. That's why they're in the hospital or why they're seeing the doctor. And I'm just simply enjoying, hey, I like that term. CHO, Chief Hospitality Officer. Well, that's one of my original ideas. And he said, I'll think more about that. And I said, well, even ask for a business card. And he smiled and laughed at the idea. Well, part of that is because that goes back to a story many years ago when I came up with this idea. Okay, here's what happened. As I'm one of the pioneers, along with my friend Joe Pine, who was a former student of mine, teaching businesses how to create customer experiences, we really emphasized the whole idea of the hospitality. We called it the hospitality factor. And that was a whole new thing at that time. Okay, good service is one thing, and of course everybody talks about that. And as I said, everybody claims it, and very few have it. But let's see if we can have such a unique customer experience that it's more than service. It truly is just that, an experience. And that became, as my friend Joe brought to the world, the experience economy. The experience economy, work is theater and every business a stage. Well, one time I was dealing with a business, and I came in, and there was since my last time, there was a new young lady at the receptionist desk, and I always greet the receptionist. Absolutely. For sure. Introduced myself, asked her name, and she was really good. She was great. She had all of the charm and the presence and the personality. She was really good. And I told her that she was good. I said, you're one of the best. I meet a lot of receptionists, but you're one of the best. And she was very pleased with that. And as I walked into the CEO's office for our usual coaching session, I remarked about how the young lady was really good. And he said, yeah, we've got her on a temp basis just to see if she'll work out. And if she does, I think she's good. Looks good. And I said, hire her. For sure. And he said, well, we'll think about it. And I said, well, we'll also talk about it. And we went into our regular session, and at the end I said, take the risk. Take my word for it. This will work out. She said, yeah, she is really good. She is good. And I said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go out with me, and I'm going to introduce myself to her, and I'm going to suggest to you something right in front of her, and I want you to do that. And he said, well, I'll take the risk. So we went out there, and I greeted her once again. I told her how impressed I was by her greeting of me, and and then I simply said, who taught you how to be such a great person with hospitality? Oh, she kind of looked startled and said, my mom really emphasized that how we treat people and the first impressions and all that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to ask your boss to give you a business card and a position. And she said, what? You should be the CHO, the Chief Hospitality Officer. My client broke into a big grin. He said, I've never heard of that. He said, it's a great title. I really like that. In fact, that tells everybody that hospitality is vital to the world we're in and the work we do. And I said, now you're getting it, see? And she's a great example. So give her that title. Well, later on, they did more than that because everybody thought that was neat. He actually got a business card printed for her, which, by the way, was so unusual for her. She's just young. And he pointed out later on, he said, I never thought it was important to make sure everybody had a business card, even the people in the office. And so we got a business card printed for her, and the chief hospitality officer, and we had a little ceremony. We gave it to her. She was thrilled. She was so thrilled. She called up her mother right away and said, "Mom, I have a business card. I'm the chief hospitality officer of the company." Great experience. And here's my story. Right now, in difficult times, it's really important that you think about having in your business a chief hospitality officer. Now, we're talking about how to, expand your presence, expand your territory, increase something that's vital in your business. And so I'm going to encourage you on this day to make a resolution that you're going to expand your hospitality factor. You're going to make it important. You're going to ask somebody to take responsibility for that. That's going to be one of your chief hiring mechanisms and recruiting and experience creators. And it could be a young person, but it's got to be somebody who understands that hospitality is a gift. And it's a gift we give to our clients and colleagues and our vendors and everybody who comes into this office. They are treated as if they are the most important person in the world, and we do it well. The Chief Hospitality Officer. I'm still on that campaign, still increasing that kind of awareness. Yes, increase your territory, expand your territory. And one of the best ways to do that is to expand the hospitality factor in your church, your business, your organization, your cause, even to the point of finding a chief hospitality officer. It's a great idea. It's an interesting idea. By the way, I can help you do just that. It's a major expansion, particularly in these difficult times. One of the things that's going to make your business different in these difficult and challenging times is people understand that we're treated differently here. It's not just service, it's something more. And of course, that something more is hospitality. There we go. Just something to think about on this Wednesday. I'm Stan Houston. We always have interesting ideas, and I hope you will take them seriously and pay attention to them. Thank you for your time. Give us just a moment, and we'll be right back. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the CWO. The CWO. What do you think that is? Hopefully I demonstrate to you that I'm trying to make you and your company and your organization different, unique, and better. That's what we do, and I think we do it well. And so if I can be of any help to you, and I believe I can, please reach out to me at stanhouston@gmail.com, stanhouston@gmail.com. And also remember that I can help you and your business use radio to be one of the attractive messaging, exploring, giving part of the hospitality that you can show to people is to produce a program that's funny, entertaining, useful, and practical, and it makes them want to do business with you. We can help you do that. We can help your school grow that way. We can help your church grow that way, because we can teach you how to be on the worldwide radio. So you can reach out to me, as I said, stanhouston@gmail.com, and you can go to our web stage. We don't have a site, it's a stage. Remember, it's a stage. It's here we go, witradio.net, witradio.net. I look forward to being with you, and part of my hospitality is to always close with a benediction. So, in these difficult times, may you find some of the wisdom, the hospitality, and the peace of mind to share your good things and your good message, and real, unique experiences with others, so that in this time of inflation and recession, you will have a business that not only survives, but maybe even thrives. That's my good word for you today. All the best, and bye for now.